Whispers of the Tide. In a quiet coastal town, time moved with the rhythm of the sea. Every morning, Eleanor walked along the shore with a letter in her hand, one she never mailed. The edges were frayed from years of being folded and unfolded, like her heart, which carried a name she could never forget, James. They had met there decades ago, in the summer of 1958. Eleanor was a painter chasing light, and James was a fisherman's son with eyes full of dreams. They spent long afternoons sketching in the sand, speaking of the future, a small cottage by the sea, a garden full of daisies, and a love that would last forever. But life, like the tide, often takes what it gives. James was drafted into a war oceans away. Before leaving, he gave Eleanor a seashell necklace. "When you hear the sea," he said, "you'll hear me." She waited every day for a letter. Weeks became months, then years. One winter, the letters stopped coming. Everyone told her to move on, that he was gone. But Eleanor never believed it. She built her little cottage by the shore and painted the sea every day, hoping to capture the blue of his eyes. Decades passed. Her hair turned silver, her hands trembled, but her heart remained steady. Then, one autumn morning, as the gulls cried overhead, a knock came at her door. An old man stood there, weathered and quiet, holding a small wooden box. His eyes, those same ocean eyes. "James," she whispered. He smiled faintly. "I told you the tide would bring me home." Tears filled her eyes as he handed her the box. Inside were dozens of letters, all the ones he had written but never sent, found in a chest after the war. He had spent years searching for her, but by the time he returned, her home had moved, her name changed, and time had hidden their story. They sat by the shore that evening, reading the letters aloud as the sun melted into the sea. The waves carried their laughter, and the years between them vanished. When the last letter was read, Eleanor rested her head on his shoulder. "Do you ever wonder," she said softly, "what love becomes after all this time?" James smiled. "It becomes this, everything we never lost." The tide whispered against the rocks as the sky turned gold, and when the morning came, the two were gone, their chairs empty, footprints leading down to the water where the seashell necklace rested gently on the sand. Some say they left together when the tide rose, hand in hand, finally keeping the promise time couldn't break. Morale of the story. True love never fades. It waits, it remembers, and in the end, it finds its way home.